Okay, what is going on, everybody? We are on RanelliFit Knowledge Project number 3. My name is Robert Ranelli. I'm a personal trainer in the Bucks County area, and today I want to offer you a pretty cool video today because we are going over, can you gain muscle after 50? I'm going to save you the suspense. Yes, you absolutely can gain muscle after 50, and we're going to go over today what it is, why it's important, and the action steps you can take. If you're not 50 years old, if you're older and you're younger, please still stay tuned because the conversations that you and I are going to have today, and for all these videos, I think are going to be really essential no matter where you are in your health and fitness journey, because it's going to help you out no matter what. So let's get rocking and rolling. So can you gain muscle after 50? I'm going to save you the suspense. Yes, you absolutely can gain muscle after 50. And first of all, what is muscle? When I say muscle, just think like adding tissue to your body. I feel like a lot of people think like, oh, the fancy schmancy, like bicep curls and all that stuff. That's obviously you can gain muscle doing bicep curls. But when I say gaining muscle, think like muscle around your joints, muscle around your muscle, around your bones, just muscle, around your whole entire body in general. And that is essential for longevity of life. Believe it or not, especially for my guys and girls out there, when you start to progress through life, we covered this in the previous video. I want to make sure I'm pronouncing this right, but you suffer from like sacropenia, whatever the word is. And basically, just as you progress through life, you start to lose muscle. So it's super important that we resistance train, and it's super important that we try to gain muscle, especially as you are progressing through life. Yes, again, you can absolutely gain muscle after 50. So what is today's video? All we're focusing on is gaining muscle. Can you gain muscle after 50 years old? Yes, you can. And what is gaining muscle? It's just adding tissue to your body over a long period of time to help you live a long, happy, healthy life. And I'm just going to use my notes here today too, because I want to make sure I'm giving you guys the most value as possible. But as you guys age, and the reason why, again, we want to focus on why muscle is not only so important, but kind of what it is believe it or not, as you go through life, you're going to start decreasing in muscle, how I was saying a minute ago. And with resistance training, we want to be able to combat that, which we totally will be able to do. And the second thing with gaining muscle is it's going to also help you live life on your terms. Let's say if you're somebody watching this video and you're, let's say, a grandmother, let's say you're a business owner, let's say you're a real estate agent, let's say you're an entrepreneur. If you have muscle, I mean, yes, you're not only going to look good and you're going to look toned. That's important as well too. But chances are you're going to be more independent throughout your life. Chances are you're going to have more energy throughout life. Chances are you're going to be able to do more things on your terms. And the more muscle you have, and again, when I say muscle, don't think like you're a big bodybuilder. No, no, no. Just like muscle for functioning. But the more muscle you have, the more protected that your bones are going to be, your joints are going to be, your body's going to be. And that is so, so important as you progress through life. So we understand what muscle is, right? All muscle is just we're gaining tissue, right? We're adding muscle to our body. And staying on topic number one here in terms of what it is, it also helps you live life on your terms. So you're going to be more stronger, more capable at a reduced risk of falls. And again, I think that is super duper valuable. So boom, there's number one. Now number two, I'm going to kind of run over my own point here. Why is it so important? And the reason why it's so important is having muscle is going to help you fight age-related problems. So let's say you're somebody watching this video and you have back pain, you have knee pain, you have elbow pain. Yes, those things are from longevity of life, but that also can be relevant for maybe you not exercising. Like for example, if you're watching this and you're like, oh man, I'm suffering from some type of pain, I would ask yourself, well, have you been active? Have you moved? Have you resistance trained? Have you strength trained? If the answer is no, I would always recommend in every single video, do your due diligence. But that's something I would highly recommend you do, strength train to kind of counteract that result of longevity of life. The second reason why it's so important is there's so many reasons why it's so important. But the three things I want to focus on, the first thing is energy. You're going to have a lot more energy when you have more muscle, because chances are if you have more muscle, you're going to have more ATP. ATP is a whole different video. But if you have more muscle, you're going to have more energy. That's really important. Again, going back to the entrepreneurs who are watching this video, or family members or business owners, whoever is watching this video, you want to have energy to crush those business deals, to crush, whatever you're doing for it, say, I don't know, your financial job, to, crush it with your family, to crush performance. Energy is important. And again, energy I feel like is so valuable if you're running a business, running a company, working for a big company, whatever. So gaining muscle is important because it's going to help you out with energy. This is huge. I said this last video. I'm going to say it this video too. It's also really important too because the more muscle you have, you actually can lose more fat. And I feel like this is super duper important. So I'm just going to spend a minute here because believe it or not, yes, can you burn a crap ton of calories doing cardio? You absolutely can. But believe it or not, through gaining more muscle and resistance training, you actually are going to burn more calories, keyword, throughout the day than you would a cardio. And I think that's such an important thing because I work with the best clients in the world here in Bucks County, especially in New Hope, Pennsylvania. And we always talk about that where cardio is really, really important. But gaining muscle and resistance training is really where it's at because that's not only going to help you look good, you're also going to be burning a crap ton of calories throughout the day. So we know why it's important, right? We understand we have energy. We understand we have fat loss. Boom. Two super important things. And the third thing here, and this kind of brings everything together, but it's really important. The third thing here is just overall performance. Real quick, right? If we gain more muscle, you're probably going to have more strength, which means you're probably going to have more power, which means you're probably going to be able to perform better in everyday life, whether you're walking up and down stairs, walking in everyday life, doing something. Chances are the more muscle you have, the more you're going to be able to perform better. And I think that is so incredibly important because, I mean, how many times have, you've done something in your life and you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm going to fall, I'm going to trip, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Maybe you don't have confidence. I guarantee you, if you gain muscle, you're going to have greater confidence. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, I can perform way better in anything that I'm doing. And that is key. But again, it's energy, it's fat loss, and it's also just having that boosted confidence or boosted performance on why these things are important. So we understand, what is it? Just gaining tissue, gaining muscle to your body. In terms of why we're trying to gain muscle here, it's gaining tissue, gaining muscle to your body. The reason why it's super duper important, we said energy, we said fat loss, and we said performance. The third thing you can take, so I gave you the knowledge, right? Hopefully you understand why it's important to try to gain muscle after 50. And the third thing you guys can do in terms of gaining muscle, right? You're probably like, okay, I understand what it is, I understand why it's important. Now, what do I do? Really simple. I would totally, again, do your due diligence, talk to a doctor, but the best action you can take is strength train or resistance train, which we talked about in a previous video, 2 to 4 times a week. You want to do 2 full body exercises or 2 full body workouts or 10 sets per body part. That is the action you should take weekly. And I want to make sure I stay here for a second because believe it or not, you will gain a crap ton of coordination and you will gain strength later on. I want to make sure I say that again. When you start gaining muscle, you're going to gain a lot of coordination first, whether it's a bench press, a squat, a single arm row, a deadlift, and that's going to help you out later on with more strength gains because the better coordination you have, the more exercises you can do, the more exercises you can do, the more muscle you're going to be able to build on to your body. But again, the action you should take is 2 to 4 strength training exercises weekly or resistance training exercises weekly and making sure you're doing your due diligence. And the biggest thing also too is don't expect results right away. It typically takes like 12 weeks to really see solid results. And believe it or not, when you're in that action phase of trying to build muscle, I said it a second ago, you typically build coordination first and then muscle second. Like for example, if you're watching this video, maybe you've done like a bench press before and it seems really like weird and awkward, and then you do it again and it like seems much more easier. And that's the example of building coordination, which will lead to more strength gains later on. But that's the action you could take. But overall, hopefully we kind of learned today what muscle mass is. That's just gaining hypertrophy, gaining tissue, why it's important. It's for energy, it's for fat loss, for greater performance and confidence. And the action you can take is doing 2 to 4 resistance training or strength training exercises weekly. And obviously make sure you do your due diligence. And I just want to make sure I revisit the top real quick in terms of muscle after 50. For anyone watching this video, yes, this is absolutely true. The studies do show this. You do lose muscle after 30 and on. That's totally true. But I want to make sure I shed some light on this. I'm not going to go over it too much in this video, but there's 3 key proteins or 3 key molecules in your body that help you build muscle. As you get older, yes, that building muscle molecular protein does decrease, but resistance training and strength training actually helps increase and fight that. So basically what I'm saying, if you're trying to build muscle after 50, it absolutely can be done, and it will be done if you're consistent, if you focus on an action step. But if you're trying to build muscle after 50, it totally can be done, but just remember, you need to be consistent. You need to give your body time, and you need to be able to do it for a long period of time. It's just like, I mean, I'm not a family man yet, hopefully, but it's like raising a family, right? It's like it's going to take time, to I don't know, teach your kids lessons and teach, your family members X, Y, or Z. Or it's like, building a business. It's going to take time to train your employees. It's going to take time, to build whatever business you're starting. So muscle is the same exact way. Think about muscle as a business, right? You're starting from the bottom, right? And then you're going to slowly build your way up, up, and up, and up. But the studies absolutely show muscle can be gained after 50, and resistance training and strength training actually helps you increase your muscle mass as you progress through life, and that is so incredibly important. But hopefully, guys, I was knowledgeable in today's video. Hopefully I give you some good guidance here. Just again, a quick reminder here is that my name is Robert Ranelli. I'm a personal trainer in the Bucks County, New Hope, Pennsylvania area. If you guys love videos like this, you can subscribe or follow or whatever down below. I'm going to leave a link to my blog. I'm going to leave a link to my personal training app, totally free trial. Trying to, I really want to push the world forward for health and fitness, and I want to make fitness like super duper simple because I feel like there's just too much nonsense out there. So the more simple I can make it and the more feedback I get from my personal training app, the better. And I'll also leave a link down below to my newsletter as well if you want to join my newsletter, because we try to do like a 1-minute weekly newsletter to give you guys some good knowledge and action. But again, my name is Robert Ranelli. A personal trainer in the Bucks County area. And if videos like this help out, again, please be sure to like, follow, share, subscribe, and follow for more. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Okay, goodbye and have a great day.